Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Jonah.
and Bentley show.
So, obviously, it's been like 69, 68 days since we've posted a video. I posted a podcast, and we've just been kind of busy, same as last time. We're student athletes, and obviously, we're not going to be able to see each other every day. We don't go to the same school. We live far away from each other, so we try to do it every time we can. But today is just the first time that we've had to talk about it in a while.
Yeah. Baseball every day, school every day.
Yeah.
It's hard to get in the same area whenever we're both doing different things. But today, we wanted to talk about doubt and how doubt can open up things that maybe you did not want to be opened up to you. Doubt can open up more than just doubt. Like, for me, doubt really comes into perspective whenever I hear God's voice and I'm like, was that really God? Or he says, go pray for that person. Should I really go pray for that person? Because what if I go up to that person and that's not really what they need? And then I just look weird. I look dumb. And I feel like those are the thoughts that can go through our minds that can, in the long run, confuse us whenever we really do want to go and evangelize. Because the devil will never tell us to do something that will advance the kingdom or move God's heart. Praying for somebody moves God's heart. It advances the kingdom. So anytime that you hear something like that, go pray for that person, go talk to that person, go share with that person. It's not the devil. It's God. And even if you think it's your own thoughts, praying for somebody's never going to hurt. If anything, that raises confidence. It gets rid of doubt. And who knows, that could save somebody's life spiritually and any other way that it can save their life, I guess.
But when you ask him, be sure that your faith is in God alone. Do not waver, for a person with divided loyalties, unsettling as a wave of the sea that is blown and tossed by the wind. Such people should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. It's like when you're doubting, it's your faith is like it's almost like a ship lost at sea in the middle of a storm. It's like going back and forth and the waves are crashing into it, and it's like you become such an easy target um because you're not standing firm in your faith. But it's natural to doubt because everybody's doubted at some point. Um because it's hard. And even Jesus said to Thomas after Thomas saw Jesus resurrected, he's like, "You believe because you saw, but blessed are those who believe because they have not seen." And like it's hard to believe in something that you can't see, but Jesus and the evidence of Jesus really truly is all the facts and the stuff that you need. Because even in the New Testament, I don't know exactly what book, but it's like Jesus. It says Jesus is the visible representation of an invisible God. And what really helped me is I'm a very logical person, and I think of things very like informationally and logically. And a couple months ago, I really did a deep dive, and like there's so much proof, like throughout all of the world, through all of history, that like Jesus was alive and that he roamed the earth at one point. And obviously, these are secular accounts of Jesus Christ. And if Jesus was alive at one point, then who's to tell? Who knows what he could have done? Like if you can believe that he was alive, which there's very much evidence to believe so. Like for example, Cornelius Tacitus was a Roman historian, one of the greatest historians of all time, and one of the greatest Roman historians of all time, and he actually wrote about Jesus, and in like 100 and something AD. So it was very close to after Jesus had died, and he was talking about Jesus and talking about how the Romans had to crucify him and about the apostles and everything. And like if stuff like that like doesn't get you to believe, like I don't know what will. I mean, because I'd have an experience with God, but I also have to have evidence. And when I have something like that, it just reaffirms my belief.
And I feel like just back on like how you said before you came to Christ, how it was hard to believe in God just because you couldn't see Him. And I feel like even like early on, it's hard to believe whenever you can't see Him, but it's even harder whenever you can't feel Him either. Once you felt Him, whenever you don't feel that anymore, it can really bring in a lot of doubt about, is He still there? Did my experience and did my encounter with Him really happen? Because that feeling is so pure and so different than any other feeling in the entire world. Like, even to this day, from 2023, whenever I encountered Him, I've never had a better feeling than that day. I've had times close to it, but every time it's been with God. I've never had a feeling, had an encounter with something outside of God that ever measured up to the same feeling that I had whenever I'm in the presence. And I feel like that's just what can bring you back. Is even if you're not feeling Him, because it's not about a feeling. It's not about, I don't feel Him I didn't feel Him whenever I prayed to Him today. I didn't feel like He said something back. I didn't hear the words that He was saying. And sometimes it's us. Most of the time it's us.
Yeah.
But it can be a test where He's like, let's see how bad you want me. Because once you feel it, once you know it, once you've encountered it, how bad do you want it whenever you don't feel it? Whenever it's hard to want it because there's so many other things going on. Whenever you have track and baseball every day. Whenever you have school for 6 hours and then go straight to a practice. And then that can even turn into going out to eat with your family, and then you get home and it's 9 o'clock and you're like, do I really want it? I'm tired. I've been doing stuff all day. Do I really want to read? Do I really want to pray? And the answer should be yes. And personally, that's something that I've struggled with lately, the last couple months, with going from school to drama to school to baseball. These last couple months have been hard. Been away from the body of Christ, been away from the church and my youth group. It's been hard. A lot of doubt has set in. A lot of struggles have began to come back in, that I am trying to have God get me back out. Mark 9:24, where it says, Lord, I believe, help my unbelief. Our youth pastor says that all the time. And it's like, it doesn't feel like it means much, but like if you take your own personal experience and bring it in, it can really change your perspective of how you think. Like, I believe in God with my whole heart, my whole mind, but help my unbelief. In the times where I am super busy, where everybody else is doing something that is cool, that is hip, it's hard to not want to do something that everybody else is doing. And it's hard that once you get yourself into it, to believe that God is still there. And that's just one of those times and one of those places where it feels like God's not there, but it's our fault because we got ourselves and we dug ourselves deep. But there becomes a time where you have to reflect and climb back up that hole.
Yeah. With what you were saying earlier about God doesn't leave, we do. It made me think of this analogy, and it's like, think of God as like a water well, and us is like people that are trying to get it with like a bucket. You go to get water, and the water well will always be there. The well never, like, it's a stationary object. It's going to be there for as long until it dries up. But if you don't come to the well, you're not going to get the water. And that's not the well's fault that you're not getting the water. It's your fault because the well will always be there, but it's you that has to draw from it. It's you that has to manually get the water, and you'll never quench your thirst. You will always have to you'll always be thirsty again. And I think that's the beautiful thing about God is that you'll never have enough. There's always more. There's always deeper that you can go, and I think that's where we fall short most times is we think that we're good, and when we think we're good, God kind of just gets put on the back burner, and when that happens, troubles come and all these things because Satan knows that you're not how you once were. He's seen you sort of slack off a little bit, and then that's when God's like, the well has been here the whole time. It's time for you to come draw from it again. And you know, yeah. So in doubting, it's important to have friends. It's important to have godly friends. It's important to have a even if we're talking on a intimate level, it's important to have a godly girlfriend or boyfriend, a godly spouse, because in that they can help you through it. They can talk to you about things because it's hard to walk this journey by yourself. And I don't think God or Jesus had ever intended it to be that way. And even when Jesus sent the disciples out, just the disciples, not the 70, the 12, he sent them out in pairs of two because Ecclesiastes says two are better than one, for they have a good reward for their labor. It's easier to do things with other people than it is to do things by yourself, because when you're by yourself, the devil can try to put you in solitary and try to get you while you're weak, because that's the thing with like certain animals, like in Africa, like they'll be hunted by lions, but they travel in packs, so it's harder for them to get attacked. Or even with fish, like they travel in schools. It's like never, like, try not to be alone. Like, obviously there's some time you need alone time with God, and that's not what I'm talking about, but I'm talking about like all the time. Like, you need friends, you need people that can build you up, and because it just makes this walk, it makes this life that much easier.
And just kind of piggybacking off of that again, from personal experience, don't wait. Don't wait until the struggles are too much. Don't wait until the weight that you're carrying is too much that it feels like you can't get out to reach out. Reach out the moment that you feel the weight. Reach out the moment that you feel the struggle. Because the more you wait, the harder it is to get back out. The more you wait, the harder it is to reach out. Because the more that you're struggling, the more things you do, and the harder it is to speak up about it. Because you can get embarrassed, you can get doubtful about, what if I say this and maybe it's too much, and they're gonna say something about me. They're not gonna like me anymore. They're gonna be like, oh, why would he do that? And they should be like that. They should be like, why'd you do that? And it's nothing to put you down, but in a way it's to build you back up. Because for somebody to be like, why would you do that? You can't be doing that. You know better. And the truth is, some of us do know better, some of us don't. But there's times where your friends will say that, and it's not to put you down, but they're there to help you get back to where God needs you to be and holding you accountable to that. And I think just like that episode we had not too long ago about godly relationships is just that exactly, is somebody to hold you accountable whenever you need it the most.
Mm-hmm. And we can even, I guess we could take that route of godly relationships, like with a girlfriend or boyfriend or spouse. It's like you have to, I think Proverbs 31, I want to say 7 or 8. It's in 31. It's like the heart of her husband fully trusts her, and fully trust fully trusting in somebody means that they don't have any doubts. And this is like with God. Like if you can fully trust in God without doubting in Him, then that could carry over to your relationship with your spouse, your relationship with a friend, and because really God is your first love. That's what Revelation says. Is like Jesus was like, you've lost your first love, you've left your first love. And God is our first love. So if we can learn to love God, and if we can learn to trust God without doubting, that can carry over to a relationship like that, to a friendly relationship, to an actual relationship, like, because I mean that's what I think it was King Lemuel's wife, or not wife, mom, and she's like the heart of her husband fully trusts her. So you have to have complete trust, and I think that starts with a relationship with God.
And um, I just feel like the more that you follow God and the more you trust in Him, the more you start to reflect that. And the more you love God, the more the love of God is poured out of you, which then can overall help the people around you. Because if you love like God, there's going to be somebody, like if I loved like God, I was following God and he was struggling, he could be like, I know that whatever Bentley says, I know that it's going to be truthful and what I need to hear. Although I can pray to God, but right now I'm struggling, so I'm going to pray, but I'm also going to go up to Bentley because I know that he's going to give me the truth. And yeah.
Yeah, just trust in the Lord. Proverbs 3, maybe 6 or 3:5. It's like, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. It's like you have to do that with all your heart. I mean, the word all literally means everything. Like all that you, like every part of you, and lean not on your own understanding, because God's ways are 100 billion times higher than yours. And what may seem like, God, why are you doing this, or what is this? It's like God's like, hold up, like let me do my thing, and you just follow me. And there was one I brought to this little graphic, or not, it wasn't a graphic, it was like a little story. And this guy was talking to God, and he was like they were walking on the beach, and he's like, where were you when there was only one set of footprints in the sand? And God was like, that was the time whenever I had to carry you. And that's just leaning on God. That's fully trusting in God. And sometimes that means surrendering completely. I mean, we should always be surrendered, but like to an extra extent, you know what I mean? Like sometimes that just means like, God, I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna let you do this, or I just need to let you move. And He will, and He does it gladly because He loves you so much, and He thinks very, very highly of you. We are sons and daughters of of Him, of the King. And when we can start to believe that, it makes everything. It makes our relationship with Him. It makes it so much easier because we know that we belong. to.
So, pretty much, we just want to say God loves you, and if you trust in Him, if you put your faith in Him, and you surrender and give Him your all, you're going to doubt, but if you can turn doubt into good, because everything that the devil means for bad, God will turn into good. Stay faithful, love God, follow God, and you believe, but let God help your unbelief.
Don't lose your faith. Trust in God forever, forever and ever, even in the hardest moments. Trust that God will see you through, because I promise you He will. That's all for me. And that's all for you too.
That's all for me too.
Thank you guys for watching. And this is Jonah
And Bentley
Show.